everyone. It's another last Saturday of the month, and I welcome you all to this special episode of your program, The Platform. Your regular host, Bumi Oduntan, is unavoidably absent today as she is busy in the studio making good music for your Christmas delight. For that reason, I'll be leading the discussion on today's episode. But never mind, I'll try my best to make this episode interesting and captivating as usual. Thank you for joining us. The pandemic is still very much out there. Currently, our city is on a lockdown, and that is why we are using this medium to bring your program to you, as we do not want to disappoint you. Please continue to keep safe and stay safe. Quickly, we want to congratulate the President-elect of the United States of America, Joe Biden, on his victory at the polls. And we wish him and the people of United States of America success and also happy Thanksgiving. Politics, always interesting and intriguing. No doubt, many that have attained the voting age would have had some kind of experiences with politics and religion, maybe from supporting a political party, voting an individual for elected positions, aspiring for leadership positions within the organization, even within the family. Religious organizations are not left out. Politics is everywhere. Today, on the platform, we shall be discussing religion and politics. Joining me in this discussion are two gentlemen. They are community leaders and they are also religious leaders. But I'll leave them to introduce themselves, starting with Dr. Lana.
Thank you very much.
Good to meet you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Gbolahan, it's a pleasure to be with you on this program. I really look forward to maybe the questions you are going to ask, because I don't even know the questions that will be. So for those who are out there, my name, as he has mentioned, is Lana, Adebiyi Olusae. I live in Winnipeg, and I work as a management consultant. And I'm also a pastor. And my focus in ministry is that each and every one of us who claim to have faith in whatever form must live out this faith where we walk. And I'm really interested in politics because I believe that we should not leave the arena for just anybody. We've all been called. And in our Bible, we are encouraged to pray for those who are in leadership. So if you are praying for them, then we are involved in what they are doing. That's all I will say about myself for now.
Thank you very much, sir. And Reverend Davies, can we meet you too, sir?
My name is Davies Adebiyi. I live with Winnipeg, and I'm a pastor in one of the Anglican churches here in Winnipeg. I believe that each and every one of us must make heaven, irrespective of our status, because that is the ultimate. For wherever we may be here on earth, we should make heaven. And how do we make it? We live peacefully, we live in harmony, and of course, we hold on to our belief.
Thank you very much, sirs, for the brief introductions. I know that both men have more than they have said to their sleeve. As we go on in the program, I'm sure you will get to understand as they unravel them to us. To our teaming viewers, please note that our discussion is not limited to any particular religion. Neither are the views expressed here limited to politics of any geographical location. Our discussion is global, and we are looking at this topic with every effort to pass across a message across board. We thank you once again for joining us. I hope you have subscribed to our pages. If you have not, quickly do that. Invite your family and friends, and let them join us as we continue the discussion. Now, Dr. Lana, I'm going to put the very first question to you, sir.
Okay.
Given your personality as a religious leader and also a community leader, how do you see religion and politics? I was actually going to tell you that I'm going to probe you further into that.
Okay. I'll put it aside. So when you look at the religion and politics, I believe that our religion that determines our values, our perspective in life, should find a way of influencing how we do our politics. And the thing we do when we are placed in a position to govern other people. So that's the way I see it. I don't see religion being attached to a particular party. So we'll talk about that one later. So let me stop at this point.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm sure Reverend Adebiyi is also itching to take a cue on that as well. So I leave the floor for you, sir.
Thank you once again, my honorable, and thank God for the definition given by Pastor Lana. I would just like to compliment what he said about what religion is and what politics is. Religion basically is belief in and worship of a controlling power, which some of us call supernatural power. And this involves devotion and, of course, the ritual, how we go about it, how we worship. And like he said, there is none without any religion. Even the atheist believe in something.
Yes.
Yeah, even though he says, I don't believe in God. The free thinker, they believe in something. Okay, so there is nobody, as far as we have that controlling power that we believe in and we are devoted to, we have religion in us. And talking about politics, it's just a way that people living in a particular area or setup, how do they control themselves? How do they govern themselves? How do they make decisions? How do they do things for a common goal? That basically, without being too academics, is politics. The three of us on the platform, how are we moving forward? Before the end of this program, we are in politics because we are discussing one thing or the other, and it's for a purpose. So politics is a means of governing a particular area, a particular group. And we have it everywhere. We have it in the church. We have it even in the school. We have it at a place of work. So politics is everywhere. And what we need to do when we talk about politics is how do we affect that area positively with whatever religion we think we belong to.
Awesome.
What influence are we making in that place? Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, we are getting there gradually. We're getting there gradually. And I'm going to come back to you, Dr. Lana. I like the way you gave your introduction, and that takes me to this question. And what I just have here is I know you are passionate about living faith in religion and participating in politics. I know that quite well. But can you share your views to the role that religion should play in politics?
Okay. I read something that I would like to share because I don't want it to look as if I'm the original thinker of it. Somebody wrote, it said, every sphere of culture, whether it's science, education, business, family, and politics, they are all different fields of activity provided by God. He said, but they've been corrupted by sin, one way or the other, or misdirected. So, if you have faith in God, and you know some of these things have been misdirected, the role of your faith is to redirect them back to what they are supposed to be by the one that made them. So that's the way I see the influence of religion, to see how you can then take it to that point.
I would want you to say more on that because the next question I'm going to be posing to the Reverend Davies is in line with the same question, but in a different dimension.
Okay.
So I give you the floor on this.
Okay. The way I look at it now, there's some. I want to address what I think the way people are looking at religion and politics that I struggle with. And I will start with myself because initially, when I think about politics, I look at those who are conservative and those who are liberal, like the two extremes of it, and erroneously assumed that those are conservative. That means those are the people who love God. And there's this assumption that those who are liberal, they are not people of faith, strong faith. But in the process of interacting with those that we call liberals, I found out that there were many of them that were committed to God just like me. So then, on what basis will I minimize their religion because of the political party that they are in? So I've come to a point that I feel that there's no political ideology that has monopoly of religion. There's no political ideology that expresses fully God's will for a country. And maybe when we're talking, there will be a lot of things coming up. Because when you look at what is happening in our world, you discover that we are all in a spectrum. Even in let's talk about the Christian faith. It's a spectrum. There are people at one extreme. They are called the fundamentalists. There are those that are called the liberal. Who is naming people this way? So I think usually if you mix religion with politics, it's very explosive. It causes a lot of problems. But if you allow it to guide your choices of parties or people or platforms that you support, then that is fine. So I don't want to look at other people in the party as enemies. No. Because there are people of faith in all of this. Some people will argue it and say, I can't say for the extreme, in those extremes, because let me go to the conservative one that a lot of us may be into. What has happened in US of recent, and I looked at people that were involved in some of these things, and the way they were treating people who are not of the same color of skin with them. These are the people that call themselves Christians. As a matter of fact, when I had a meeting with my pastor, I said that if I don't know the God that I serve, I will wonder whether it's worth it being a Christian. But because I know the God that I serve, then I can. Because I could not understand people who travel thousands of kilometers to come and share the gospel with some people. But when they are in their backyard, the way they treat them is different. And they say they are the people who are upholding conservative values as if they are the Christians, and we mix the two up. So I have issues with that, because I believe that whatever we do, it should reflect the core of our being. Christ is the core of who we are. At one point, somebody wrote something. I don't want to take credit for it. He said, reading Matthew 5, Sermon on the Mount, right, Pastor? He said, reading it and looking at the behavior of the politicians in the US, you begin to think that the Democrats are actually the people who are holding the Bible, whereas the other people, the way they were responding, is showing a different thing. We are being called to take care of strangers, to take care of the weak. So if there's a political party that is not taking care of the stranger, of the weak, then let's question whether we should be attaching a faith to it.
Thank you very, very much, sir. That is a huge mind-blowing, because I don't know, I've had this discussion with people, and I'm happy the way you have put it to us, irrespective of the political parties. At times I wonder, you say, okay, this party is party A, that is party B. You have James, Ishmael, you have Isaiah, you have Musa in party A. The same people the same names you find in party B. So upon what basis are you now saying, oh, this party is more religious than the other party? And as a believer, I tell my friends at times, even the Bible we believe, I say, judge not. So who are you to judge and say because that person holds this belief, person is not righteous? After all, judgment is to God, and politics is about service to humanity. So if your party is serving humanity, why not? So thank you very much for that.
Thank you what you're saying. Reverend, let me just buy some time. I was reading something. Go and look at all the disciples of Jesus and try and put them in a political spectrum. From one end, you have the zealots. Then you have the tax collector on the other one. They don't belong to the same line. They should not even be talking together. So I'll leave it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Lana. I'm coming now to you, Reverend Davies. And I want to be more practical in this question that I want to put across to you. Because I know you are a priest, you are a committed person, and you have some responsibilities as a priest. So my question is, as a priest, what do you feel should be the role of religious and spiritual leaders when it comes to politics?
The role
The role of religious or spiritual leaders when it comes to
when
politics.
politics. Let me paint this scenario. Incidentally, it is what we read this. It was what we read this morning in our devotion. He was trying to give, paint the picture of the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm sorry we are not trying to narrow this topic down to Christianity, but at least that is our background. And he said when Christ was physically on earth, he dined with both sinners and the saints. He was in their midst. The fact that he was with them does not change the fact that he remained the Messiah. By playing with the sinners, by visiting the tax collectors, by going to their house, by socializing, let me use that word, with them, there is something in him that did not go away. And that is the inner fact that this is the Savior of the world. When we see ourselves as religious leaders and we are running away probably from politics, we are not doing the societies any good by doing that. Because they must be able to see what makes us different from the way they play their politics. Are we the one playing it better than even the way they were doing it? It is not just a matter of words alone. It's the action that is behind it. So as religious leader, I think it is our duty to be part and parcel of what goes on in our society and in our community. We should be part of it. We said it earlier on that even in the church, there is politics.
Yep.
There is politics because there are people that comes together for different things. When we talk about committees in the church, there are people that believe, no, this is the direction this committee should go. This is the direction this committee should go. You don't run away from it at the head of the church. You meet with them and fashion out the better way. And that is where compromise comes in so that you can move forward. So I don't see a religious leader moving away from politics because of whatever it connotes as a good thing, for the betterment of the society. We should be part and parcel of it. We should try to influence. If they see our lifestyle, if they see the way we do it, if they see that, okay, when we talk about assisting other people, well, that is part of what politics is, to improve the society. If they see us doing it practically, then they know that even if as in religion we are doing that, then in politics is something that is possible.
All right. Thank you very much, Reverend Davies, for that. Before I let you sit back, I'm going to put the same question to you in a different dimension. You have talked about religious leaders influencing people. Now, let's take it that you are my spiritual leader. Do you stand any position of deciding for me, your follower, what my political inclination should be?
I don't think I can't decide for you what your political inclination should be, but we can guide. like Pastor Lana said, citing the example of what is going on in US now, the conservative and the liberal. Those that profess to be the carrier of the gospel or to be, okay, we are Christian more than the other people. When you look at their lifestyle, like he said, it seems as if even those that were condemned, they were even the one that were doing the will and the wish of the people, and of course of God, caring for one another. In Matthew 24, you remember when I was sick, you did not come. I was a stranger. I had no clothes. All those kind of, they were, when did we see you doing this? As far as you have done it for any of this. So if you call yourself a religious leader or political leader, and you are not taking into cognizance the welfare of the people, I don't think that is ideal. But if you are doing that, and you see me as a religious leader going toward that direction, I think a good politician, so to say, should be able to take a clue, irrespective of his political view, that, okay, this is the fundamental things that I need to do for the society. If this religious leader can do it, I can do it better. So I think the lifestyle of a religious leader can influence the choice of the political lifestyle of any member.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, sir. I will take it that yes, religious leaders have a role to play in politics. They are influencers, uh, but notwithstanding, as church or religious followers, you have your freedom of decision, freedom of expression, freedom of association. If you feel that the way your religious leader is leading does not conform with your belief or understanding of a particular political party, I want to sum it up that what you have passed across is we are free to make our decisions. And on that note, we are quickly going to go on a short break. Don't go away. We'll be back shortly. You're welcome back to your program, The Platform. And in case you are just joining us, our discussion today is religion and politics. And I have been joined today with Dr. Lana and Reverend Davies Adebiyi. Now I'm coming back to you, Dr. Lana. There is a common saying that politics is a dirty game. I've said at times without number. And as such, very religious people, I use the word very religious people, they tend to shy away from participating in politics. What is your take on this, sir?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I understand where that question is coming from. It's coming from where we have our heritage. And the reason why it being dirty that way is the aspect of corruption that's within the political system, which still brings us back to the fact that something that God has created has been misdirected by sin. So in that kind of a setting, yes, it is dirty in there, because not only politics that is dirty, is the whole system that needs something. But there was one challenge I threw to people in that country that the question you're asking is coming from that country. I'm going to explain my understanding from North American perspective. I told them that many years back, when we still had, if I mention the party, people will know. So we had these parties in the country, and I started thinking, how can we influence? So I decided to join the party in that country, and I went to the meeting. And I realized that all of us that were in the meeting, because the ward meeting took place in somebody's house, we did not fill the house. So there were very few people who are actually members of the party. So I threw this challenge to some other Christians, and I said, do you know that if we want to change the climate of politics, all members of all churches who are true disciples should go and join a political party in their area? And when it comes to decision making, because they are there, let them reflect Christ there, and things will change. But the problem is, they stay away from it, and at that root, and I'm sure Gbolahan, you know very well, at that root, that is where decisions are made. They are not there. So what comes out of where we don't have the salt and the light is darkness and pain. That is for that country. So it's not only in politics that is a problem. Business is also dirty. Also, a lot of things are dirty. Coming back to North America, I decided to join a political party because I wanted a way whereby our community, the African Black community, will have a voice. I was surprised when I joined. I found the same thing that was happening in Nigeria. When we are 20 at a meeting, that was a good attendance. And we are talking about a place that had a population of 13,000 in the riding or thereabout. The first time I got there, they made me the vice president of the riding. So you can see, you can have that influence. Then when it came to the time of elections, they made me the treasurer and to be the person who is like to sign all documents. I can't remember the title again now, for the candidate. So I basically ran the whole thing. But there was a difference. In North America, we were the ones putting our money down to do the work. In the other one, not the members, is the guys who won the positions. They were putting their money down. So you can see that there's a whole lot of difference. And why I'm saying that we need to be part of the system, I can speak for those of us in North America. When you go to your riding meeting, your member of legislative assembly is your servant. Comes there and you ask questions and you send message. Because that person knows that when it comes to the next election, if the MLA is not doing well, you will make sure the person is not nominated. So if we want to clean up the dirty game, we have to come there and clean it up. We cannot sit outside and expect the dirty thing to clean itself up.
Yeah.
And before I drop on that, I like what Revd Adebiyi was talking about. We as religious leaders, we should not shy away. The challenge for some of us is, if you declare the position of your party, how does it affect the people you are leading? So as a leader, you may not be able to say openly the party that you have sympathy for, but you should have open arms to receive people, to disciple them, to be after Christ, because you are the one sending them out there. And I still come back to the Zealot and the Matthews in the party of Jesus. In a church, there are people who care about others. There are some churches that care only about the rich too. Just speaking on churches. And if you remember, the Philippians, they were poor, but they were good in charitable causes. So in every church, you have people who are conservative, you have people that are liberal inside that same church.
Interesting.
So as leaders, we just need to make disciples of men. That's what we are called to do. Because when they are disciples and Christ is their call, when you are not there, they will be hearing from the Spirit of God. And you can go and read other, I would say, about other faith. There's no faith that teaches people to be wicked.
Not at all.
There is none. They all encourage that. For you to do excellent things, that is what they encourage. For be a good employer. So all faiths teach good things. The problem is that religious leaders are not sending their best into the field of politics. The best are not going there. So it's how do we go there and clean it up?
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Lana. Thank you very, very much. When you were talking about politics back in Africa and politics here, it reminded me of a time, those days. And I had a friend, and he would keep telling me, politics is serious business. I said, and I would tell him, really? What kind of business is politics? And he will tell you, oh, you invest your money into it so that you can make more money from it. And I'm always like, oh, really? But for me, politics is supposed to be about service to humanity. So I quickly connected with you when you were talking about the way it is back there and the way it is here. Thank you very much for that, sir.
You are very right. What is missing is the compassion and the service.
That is the key thing.
That's it.
The service aspect.
And, I'm sure
where we come from.
I'm sure you agree with me that even our religion is all about service.
Like this issue of lockdown, if I bring it up, some people want to do lockdown. And by the time you are asking why, it's because they have not taught their people to give without being squeezed. There are places where, like the church I'm worshiping, we have not met since March 14th.
Wow.
We do prayer requests on Zoom during the service. We use Slack, an app, for prayers. Ministers call the people to find out how they are doing and check on their welfare. It has not affected what is being given. There's more to do, even at this time.
Great.
Great. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Amen. Politics, religion is all about service, and I hope somebody is learning something out there. Yeah, I'm going to come over to you now, Reverend Davies. And I know that we have talked about politics in the United States of America, We have talked about it in Nigeria, in Africa. But one thing that is so common in recent time is that religion has been used as a weapon in the hands of politicians, most especially during electioneering campaigns. However, on the other side, government is about making and implementing policies and programs in the best interest of the people, not minding their religious background or affiliations. My question to you, sir, is should religion be a basis for seeking votes?
Thank you for that question. That whether we should use religion as a basis for our voting during election.
Yes.
You see where we come from in Africa. I would say religion has done more bad things to us, even than politics. Let me cite an example of a country in I think in North America, East or North America. I think it's somewhere around North America. We have Christian and Muslim. Then the Christians said, no, we are being victimized, we are going. They are the newest independent country in the world as of today. But since the Christians pull out of that country, they have never known peace. Even the so-called Christians are fighting themselves politically. Where are we going? Where are we going? They are it got to the point that the present Pope practically prostrated and kissed the feet of the two warlords. Those are Christians. And the Muslims they came out of, they are not fighting themselves.
I believe you're talking about Sudan.
Yes, the South Sudan, yeah. Sudan and South Sudan. See, South Sudan, since they got their independence out of Sudan, they have never known peace. And it's a Christian country. When we allow politics when we allow religion or the political leaders to divide us along our religious faith, it creates a lot of problems. Because by the time they were able to manipulate us and they come to power, they come back and push us aside. Because they have to do that in order for them to gain power. And when they are in control, we are nothing but puppets in their hand. We will not be able to play the role we're supposed to. What do you have to offer the community? How are you going to implement the manifesto of your party? How am I affected by it? What is the benefit of it to me, even as Christian or whatever religion I believe in, that will make me to say, okay, on the day of election, you have my choice, I'm voting for you. One of my godfathers, sorry to say this, he got to the peak of his career academically and even in the church. His best friend, one of his best friends, is a Muslim. One of his best friends is a Muslim. It's not a matter of using religion to fight one another. The politicians will use this to gain influence for themselves, their own interest, not for the interest of the people. Where we come from, we cannot, the way we are talking, saying this now, we cannot just do away with that kind of a thing. So please, I don't think we should allow the politicians to manipulate us on the line of religion to gain power or for their own selfish interest. Why am I voting for Mr. A or Mrs. B, irrespective of his or her religion, inclination, or politics? It's because I believe the manifesto of his party is for my good and for the good of the society.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. I feel Dr. Lana wants to say something about that.
Yeah. I think maybe you decided to shy away from it. Some people, so when they use religion, it's because God is not their God. Power is their God.
Yeah.
Religion is a tool. And there's something that they waive, especially for people that are Christians. They will talk about the issue of which party supports abortion, which party supports sexual orientation and identity, and they use that to divide us. But interestingly, in the Bible, I think Galatians 5:19-21 and 1 Corinthians 6:9-10, anytime whatever those people consider to be sin is written, let me tell you the other things that are written there, and let somebody tell me which political party does not have that. We are talking about works of the flesh, immorality. Let me see the political party. Of recent down south, one of the leaders of a theological school had that problem. Impurity, indecency, idolatry, sorcery, enmity, strife, jealousy, anger, selfishness, divisions, heresies, envy, drunkenness, wrongdoers, sexually immoral, thieves, greedy, drunkards, slanderers, swindlers. Tell me, anytime those major sins that they use are mentioned in the Bible, all these other ones are written along them. There's no graduation of sin. So wherever we have human beings, even the three of us that are here, are we going to say that we don't experience anger or selfishness? It does happen. So to use that, exactly like Reverend said, they just use it to divide because their God is power. They just want that power and they play with it. Like one uncle of mine supporting the guy that we all know, and so he said he's a Christian. I said, okay. He said they should open the places of worship. But where did he go on Sunday? He went golfing. I said they should tell me the church that the man has gone to for the 4 years that he has been there. They couldn't point to the church. So it's for, they use it for division. That's what I would say. And Reverend, I can tell you, one of my best friends, best family friends, they are Muslims. In my family line, there are Muslims. And I can tell you, I trust some of them more than so-called pastors. So I don't think we should allow politics to divide us by using religion. What are they going to do for the people? That's what's important. We are talking about governance. Let's send the people that will do the work into politics.
Thank you very, very much, sirs. I can't agree less with you. It's not about the political party, but it's about the person. And it's about the character of that person. So it doesn't matter even if my name is Mark, or even if my name is John, or even if my name is Muhammad. That doesn't change anything about me.
Yeah.
But what changes people's opinion or perspective about me is what character am I exhibiting?
Yeah.
Am I living the character of the faith I profess?
Yeah.
Or am I just using that toga just to woo people and to get them to my side, just for my personal interest? Because in the first instance, you don't even understand the reason or the meaning of power. Thank you very, very much, sirs. It's been an interesting time with you both. Before we round up, there is one more question I'm going to throw at you. We've talked about politics, we've talked about religion, we've talked about service to the community, and that has been a constant theme in our discussion. Service to the community, love, making a change. The question I'll be putting to you both, sirs, is to make a positive change in our society, we all need to be involved. What are your advices to our teeming viewers that are less interested in politics simply because they still want to hold firm to their faith? What are your advices, sir? So as you give your advices, also try to educate us on how we can be involved. Thank you, sir.
Reverend, can you go first?
There is a popular Yoruba saying, but I'm going to, as much as try to put it in English, it says, you are not there and you are questioning the rationale behind the division or the sharing. When you stay back, oh, I'm not a politician, I don't want it to affect my faith. The people that are controlling, that are even making decisions that will affect your faith, one way or the other, they don't have the kind of faith that you have. So if you say that, oh, I don't want to be corrupted, I don't want to be part of them, we cannot go anywhere. All that you need to do as a Christian is go there with character of Christ. Go there with the faith that you are going to influence and change things. We have been talking about it. How do I change the people at my place of work? What can my friend in the secular world sees in me and make him to say, I want to come to your faith? The Christians, so to say, they were named by unbelievers. They were not the one that gave themselves the name Christian. But because of their ways of life, Christ-like, that is where the word Christian comes from. Because they were like Christ. We've heard about this man. But what we cannot shy away from it. I will encourage each and every one of us, be part of decision making right from your community. It talks about getting to the meeting of the political party, and the highest number, so to say, probably at any of the meeting is 20. Those are the people that will make decisions for thousands of people. If you are not there, you have no reason to complain because you are not part of the decision making. So for us to be part of the decision making, I will advise each and every one of us to be involved. You should not shy away from it. So that when the decisions are being made, you yourself, wherever you are, you can beat your chest and part of that decision making.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you,
and, over to you, Dr. Lana.
I agree totally with you. First, behavior is your thoughts in action. We need to think beyond ourselves and think about our community and know that the community that we belong to, whether you're talking about the Nigerian or the African or the Black or the Winnipeg or whatever community, think about that community is larger than you and that you have been placed there to invest your time and resources. Don't always have this mindset of what's in it for me. Bear in mind, somebody said our children are like arrows and we are sending them as messengers into the world that is ahead, into the world that is unknown. But we can prepare the ground for them, how that world will be like. I told my son, I'm over 50 years, I'm done, I'm counting down. But it's my responsibility to ensure that this place that you are in becomes a place that is good for you. You should stop saying, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. I can assure you when we are done this, I still have about 2 or 3 hours I still will do. But I find what you've asked me to do today as important. So we need to be involved in the community to know even what the community needs. When we know what the community needs, we can then advocate what the community needs to those that are in government. When we advocate it, that's when changes can be made. And like Reverend was saying, it doesn't cost much. Even for those of you in Africa, you'll be shocked when you hear this. You pay $20, some $15 a year. Even right now, the $20 that you pay in one of them is until the next election, which is about 3 years away.
Not Ghana must go.
No, Ghana must go. It's $20, even if you convert it as 300 to a naira, let's say, that is 6,000 naira.
And
that gives you
still get tax rebate on it.
You will still get tax receipt. So at the end of the day, you actually pay maybe about $10. So you have that opportunity to be there to ask your leaders questions and to really make them accountable. So I just want to encourage people to begin that step of getting involved. Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity.
Very much, sir. Thank you very much. I guess you all have learned something from today's discussion. I have learned a lot. Time, not always a friend. And this is where we shall be drawing the curtains on today's episode of your program, The Platform. As we prepare for the Christmas, don't forget to join Booming Praise on December 13 at 4 p.m. for the maiden edition of Praise Explosion. The maiden edition of Praise Explosion is coming up live to you on December 13. Watch out for that. It's going to be a powerful musical concert. And to Dr. Lana and Reverend Davies Adebiyi, we cannot thank you enough. We thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us on this discussion. We thank you for sharing your experiences and knowledge with us. Till we come your way again, always remember, together and with love, we can make the world a better place.